So if you're doing social media and you have a social media listening tool or a team that does that, like at Virgin America or Rackspace or Ford, great on you. But increasingly, you're going to be tone deaf because your customers are going to know things about each other that you don't know. So how do you bring tone deafness down in a corporation? Well, that's what I'm going to talk to these guys about, because they're starting a new company taking the technology that was developed at Rackspace for our listening team out into the real world, right? So who are you?
Hi, I'm Rob Colazzo. I'm with Rackspace. I am a manager of social media. Been at Rackspace for about 7 years and starting HelpSocial.
Yeah. And who are you?
Matt Wilbanks. At Rackspace, I'm a social media support specialist.
And so you guys are spinning out the technology that you developed for running the listening team, right? I call it the defense team because, a corporation has offense where you fill the sales funnel and try to build a brand and try to tell people new things. And then you have a defense team which listens to the world and reacts to it, right?
Right. So we started to HelpSocial at Rackspace as an internal tool to allow us to react to customers and their problems on Twitter.
Yeah. So when you look at HelpSocial, what makes it different than a Radian6 or another listening tool?
Yeah, it's really about how the information is presented to you in a real-time format so that you can take care of your customers on the fly. I need to be able to see who this customer is just from their Twitter profile. I need to know what products they're using. If they've got an account manager, what's their email address, all of this stuff so I can figure out how I best reply to the customer.
I met with the exec team at the Ritz-Carlton, which is one of the top customer service brands in the world. Mm-hmm. And they said, back 100 years ago when the Ritz started, they used to have index cards in the middle of the hotel where they would write down everything about you. They would surveil you. They would go through your trash and figure out what your candy bars were and, did you eat apples or bananas or whatnot that you throw in the trash, and they would have those things waiting for you the next time you came back, right? That's really not tone-deaf customer service, right? And today, they aren't so good at that. They don't know who I'm sitting with. They don't know my lifetime value as a customer, and on and on. How is HelpSocial going to change that dynamic to help corporations be less tone deaf when they're talking with people?
Well, it all comes back to their example of going through the trash and seeing what the people eat. It goes back to knowing who your customer is. And today on the market, the engagement tools that businesses have access to, they don't provide the ability to know who you're talking to. And that's a huge problem that we found at Rackspace when we were creating this tool and when we were demoing all these other tools. There's some great tools out there for marketing purposes, but there's nothing great out there for support that tells me who this person is, how can I respond to them, what kind of pizza do they like best.
Right, so you can, I'm pretty recognizable on Twitter by my name, R. Colazzo. It matches my first initial last name. But if your Twitter handle is Goofy Nerd 2, right, that doesn't mean anything to a brand unless they can see the context around your account and the previous interactions they've had with you. So, what HelpSocial can do is allow you to tag that person, see notes in real time as they're tweeting about you and your brand, and then you can respond appropriately.
That's cool.
The API on top of it, the entire application is built on top of an API. So we've got a mobile app that runs off the API. So when you're not at your desktop, you can see what's going on from your iPhone. Android is coming. But from the API, you can tie this thing into literally any other system. It could be a custom-built in-house tool. It could be Salesforce or Zendesk. The power of that is your entire business can now operate off of the same live stream of real-time social data that your support team is adding tags to, adding sentiment to. The entire business can take advantage of that and make decisions for each of those groups just based off the same data.
If I was watching social media for an airline, for instance, I assume that the tweets are going to need to be answered by different people on different teams. If you're having problems with your luggage, that goes to the luggage team, right? And that's a different place than talking to the flight assistants on your flight, right? How do you assign when a tweet or a Facebook message comes in, how do you assign that to the various different teams or different people who are going to do that?
It's actually very easy. So there's a button associated on every tweet. There's a series of buttons that allow you to retweet, reply, follow, favorite. One of those buttons is also claim or assign. So you can hit the claim button, it's automatically assigned to you. If you hit the assign button, then it's assigned to whoever you specify. So it's instant. Everything that you need to deal with a particular tweet or message is right there on the message.
Anything else we should know in this short video about HelpSocial and what differentiates it in the market and will help companies be less tone deaf?
Well, if you really believe in customer support and helping, listening to what your customers are saying, I think it's the perfect tool for you.
Very cool.
Yeah, and it's probably important to note as well. We mentioned we're from Rackspace. We work at Rackspace right now. We built this tool for ourselves to solve that problem. But this is something that's going beyond outside of Rackspace. Rob and I are co-founders. Rob is CTO and I'm CEO, and we're hiring a team of developers to build this thing out further. And we're really looking forward to sharing this with more businesses and our experience in doing social support, providing what we've learned along the way just with Rackspace, and now taking it outside and sharing it with outside the HelpSocial name.
Very cool. Where do we find it?
HelpSocial.com. Our early access program is open right now.
Cool. Thank you so much.